What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and the game is back on his promo run for his new album, Drillmatic. As we know, every time the game does a promo run for his album, it seems like he creates some type of controversy to get attention to him, and rightfully so, he gets a lot of attention. He stopped by the All the Smoke podcast, and he decided to talk about Eminem and 50 Cent once again. Here's what he had to say about Eminem.
When have you ever, and I'll take it away from you, when have you ever heard an Eminem song in the club? When have you ever heard this shit in the locker room when niggas like, yo, this is the new M, I'm about to go crazy out here when they do this tip off, nigga?
And this isn't anything new that people have said about Eminem. Gucci Mane made the same argument when he was doing a radio interview. He said Eminem's music doesn't get played anywhere, but that's not really true at all, because if you look at the numbers, he does insane numbers. Just because you don't hear him at a club or you don't hear him at certain events, it does not mean that people aren't listening to them. Eminem, for the most part, has a lot of personal type of music, so usually when you're in the mood to listen to that type of music, you don't listen to it out loud for the most part. And also, Eminem has records that are good for working out, like Till I Collapse. So sometimes you have headphones on when you're listening to that type of music. You're not really listening to it with speakers. And then he mentioned the streets and stuff like that. So as far as numbers goes, you can really just look at them and decide whether an artist is getting played or not. There are a lot of artists that get played in the club, but they aren't relevant to this day. So it doesn't really matter what kind of play you're getting as long as you're getting played. Then the next topic he talked about was 50 Cent, of course. And on this, he said that 50 Cent and Jimmy Iovine paid him $1 million to stop saying G-Unot, and that he owned the trademark.
A lot of people don't know this. Like 50 and Jimmy Iovine, they gave me $1 million to stop saying G-Unot. They wrote me a check. They bought it. I had the trademark to G-Unot. And you remember when I was going around with the rat and doing all that shit hurt. Killed G-Unit. You stop seeing the candy cane tank tops and all that shit. All the whole G-Unit, Mark Echo, all this, the shoes, all that shit died. You know what I'm saying? That shit was a hot commodity at once. G-Unit clothing. Niggas was wearing the sweats, the headbands, the masks,
white beaters, all
everything. That shit died, bro. And then so they had to pay me. I should have asked for more, but the niggas gave me $1 million. But then I'm a hood nigga, so I'm like, $1 million just to stop saying this word?
Yeah.
With a check.
That's
they
crazy.
wrote the check and I stopped saying this.
Before we continue the video, I want to give a big shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Live events are finally back after COVID, and that means you can get $20 off tickets at SeatGeek with my promo code DiverseMentality. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, they're a ticketing app that makes buying tickets super simple. I've got the app on my phone, and it's by far the easiest way to get tickets, because when I was trying to get tickets for the Lakers game back when they were actually playing during the regular season, it was virtually impossible not to run into fake tickets. So with SeatGeek, that clears all of that out of the way. And not only do they have basketball, but they got a bunch of different events like concerts, live comedy, festival, football, basketball, baseball, everything that you can think of, plus tickets from all over the web in one place to make the buying very simple. I should have used SeatGeek to see courtside tickets of Lil Wayne and Mark Cuban beefing. Luckily, they cleared the air with each other and they aren't beefing anymore, but that would have been interesting to see live when they were actually talking to each other. Might have to make a video of who really won between Mark Cuban and Lil Wayne, because that got a little crazy. SeatGeek wants to make sure you're getting a good deal, so look out for the green dots on the app. The green means good deal, red means bad. And don't worry, like I said, thank you guys for always watching. I got the hookup. Just use the code DiverseMentality for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DiverseMentality. Make sure you click the link in the description below to download the app. Thank you so much for watching, and let's continue the video. Well, you know what I did. I looked up trademarks, which you can do. It's a public information. I looked up the G-Unot trademark and found out that the game owned the clothing line version of the trademark. Yes, there are multiple versions that you can apply for when it comes to trademarks. It has to be for a specific product or service, and the game owned the G-Unot clothing trademark. He filed it on July 9th, 2005, and abandoned it on January 7th, 2007. For trademarks, if you do not renew it, it will go dead, meaning that anybody else can take that trademark. And if you look at the owner, it says Jason Taylor, which is the game's real name. He filed it under Class 25, which is for clothing and apparel products, and that's it. After the abandonment date of January 2007, you'll see 50 Cent then filed for G-Unot trademark on March 30th, 2007, but he filed for multiple cases, one being case 25, which is clothing, then case 41, which is for entertainment services, namely live musical performances, production of music recordings, shows and videos featuring musical performances, music shows, and events before a live audience. He also filed for case number 9, which is musical sound recordings, audio-visual recordings, namely compact discs, tape, cassettes, audio cassettes, all that stuff. And if you look at the owner, it says Curtis Jackson, which we all know is 50 Cent's real name. So based off looking up this information, which is very easy to do, you can tell that Game owned only the clothing side of the G-Unot name. He didn't own anything relating to the music side of it. So let's just say Game told the truth and that 50 and Jimmy Iovine paid him $1 million to stop using G-Unot as a trademark. Let's say that's true. 50 Cent years ago said that Game had to pay him $1 million per album to take off the G-Unit logo because he was still under contract with G-Unit despite their beef. So if you look at all the albums released with Game under Interscope, it's 4 more albums. The documentary was the one with the G-Unit logo, and they were cool at that moment. Then you got Doctor's Advocate, then you got LAX, then you got the Red Album, and then you got Jesus Peace. That means that $4 million was shelled to 50 Cent to not have the G-Unit logo on his album. So if you do the math, Game only got $1 million while 50 got $4 million, which equals out to $3 million when you subtract the $1 million that he gave Game. So at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like what Game is saying is the truth, but ultimately, I've given you guys the facts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about what he said about Eminem and 50, and I'll see you guys in the next video. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.